Well, the mission of St. Tarcissus Parish and any parish is to spread the message of the gospel, to spread the message of Christ's love and salvation to as many as we can. And particularly in parishes that are fortunate enough to have schools in their midst, it's through the education of our children. We educate them, but we also form them. We form their spirits, we form their consciences, we form their minds in such a way to mold all of that into the message of the gospel, the mission of the gospel, and the mission of Christ. And so to do that and to make them good Christians and good solid Catholics in their, not only just in their understanding of their beliefs, but also the living of their beliefs, our teachers have to model that at all times within the classrooms, whether it be religion, whether it be science, whether it be reading, whether it be math, to find that common denominator, that common ground that binds all of that together and makes that work. That comes from a faith-filled person who's ready and willing to demonstrate that and share that with the students who are in their charge.
We have the unique opportunity, being a Catholic school, that our faith is part of our life every day. We live our faith and model our faith. What would Jesus do all day long? We're free to talk about it in all of our subjects and in all areas.
Let's read it. Ready? I see a cook. Now we have to say it. Today, I want you to tell me a sentence about...
Our school is all about faith. It's one of the reasons why I teach here. It is a community that's based on faith. Things starting with them so young in kindergarten and teaching them to share and to be nice to one another and respect one another is a huge part of my job. And when you can do that starting at such a young age, that builds a strong Catholic identity for them as they grow up.
I sent my kids to St. Tars because for the following reasons. I wanted my kids to have a chance to have a Catholic education like I did when I was a child. I was looking for a school that had a good family atmosphere. And I got that one time when my wife and I went to go see St. Tars on a tour of the school, actually. We were really amazed at how many generations have gone to St. Tars. And it was really important to me and my family.
I feel that the faith integrates itself and permeates every single thing that we do. I think starting with the kids' behavior and the way we can discipline. I think you always have that element of the back of your head, you know, is what you're doing, is that a Christian? Is that a kind thing to do? And I think, especially for teaching literature, so much of what we do in literature has basis in the Bible and basis in, you know, biblical stories, and you know, we're able to talk about those, and the kids have a frame of reference that they, you know, remember that Bible story from when they were little. I just feel like it permeates everything we do. And the fact that when you walk down the street, you can guess it's a St. Tars kid, and they'll wave and they'll say hi and they'll be kind and considerate, and just shows them the fact that being a Christian is important to them. Even if they won't say that it's important to them, it's ingrained in them and it's who they are.
Our educational philosophy is to support every student where they're at and educate them fully and support them. So whether they have difficulties in learning or they're the most advanced student, we're trying to meet them on their level and support them in the best way possible to promote them as they go forward. As we approach Common Core, the approach that we're going to take is a more critical approach to education. Some of the things that we're doing are the Achieve 3000 to actually advanced reading and writing competencies and comprehension, and to enable students to read more complex text, to really go beyond what their grade level would normally want them to do. But we also want kids to be very analytical, and that's going to be with our STEM, our science STEM program that we're starting to incorporate. And students are going to be working in problem-based learning, so they're going to take a real world problem and try and take their theoretical and conceptual understandings and apply it to create a solution for it.
The curriculum's changed a lot since my time at St. Tars. Kindergarten is more challenging than it's ever been. I send kids into first grade who are reading and writing, and that's what I love teaching about kindergarten, is seeing the change when they come in to me and when they leave. We have so much fun in kindergarten too, so I like to do both at the same time.
I think my favorite teacher would be my first grade teacher, Sister Phyllis. I don't know why. She just left the biggest impact on me, I guess.
I really believe that the teachers here care and that they put forth the extra effort.
What's the first place after the decimal called?
10.
Second?
100.
Third?
Thousands.
Fourth?
10,000.
You got it. You're wonderful. Okay.
My son, for example, in 8th grade, he was able to come here for breakfast club for minimal expense over the summer and take math classes just to keep him refreshed. My daughter can go and talk to her teachers at any time before and after school in 5th grade. We have the homework lab that's open for students afterwards if they need some additional help. We do have a lot of working parents here that aren't able to be home at 4 o'clock in order to help them and review their work. Those little extras really have helped them become good students and stay good students and understand the value of education, and they realize that it is an effort for us to send them here. And I think they know that, so they actually put the effort into.
I like LA and I like reading. I like them both because LA we get to do creative writing, and I really love writing, and I want to be an author. And then for reading, I love how we get to read different stories, but we all have different outlooks on it.
I think a lot of our Catholic people mistakenly think that tuition, the cost of tuition, whatever that might be, covers the running of a school. That's a great myth that's out there. It doesn't cover the cost of running a school. We know that. The tuition is only a small portion of that. It barely helps us make the payrolls for the teachers who, don't get great salaries but still need to be paid. One of the things that I think we forget about is for so long our Catholic school system was run by a volunteer workforce. We called them nuns. Well, that has all changed, and as a result of that changing, we never really changed the system. So the system, in a sense, is somewhat of an antiquated system, trying to work in a modern world today where now we have teachers that have to get paid and need to be paid out of a sense of justice, to them. So we have to pay them as fairly and as equally as we can. And as a result of that, the tuitions really don't cover that, because with the pay or the salaries comes also the benefits, health insurances, all of that. And all of that continues to escalate. It keeps rising. And so it becomes a constant challenge for us to be able to do that.
So let's everyone raise your hand for St. Tars.
Raise your hand.
So raise your hand for St. Tars.
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand for St. Tars.
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand for St. Tars.
Raise your hand for St. Tars.
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand for Catholic education.
Raise your hand.
Raise your hand for Catholic education.
Raise your hand for St. Tars.